Hail and welcome back to the second HFC Sonic-a-thon. Today we are running Sonic Advance 2, my personal favourite of the Sonic Advance trilogy. And while I get into the game here, Tanner, why don't you tell us who we're raising money for this marathon?
Yes, we are raising money for Child's Play, a charity to get games and toys and books, all of those things, in the care of kids in the hospital, right? In their rooms so that they can... those in long-term care of something that they can look forward to. So all of the donations go directly to that. We don't get a cent of it. We do get the bits and stuff like your subbing and all that. So if you're considering, don't do those, just go into the direct donate link there. So I'm going to put a donate link in the chat as well, or at the bottom of our Twitch page, and you can grab it there. We will read your donations out loud. So if you have any questions for us, that's the time. Of course, you know, this is for the kids, but if you want to ask stuff that is not for the kids, well, that's fine. We are not a for the kids channel.
Yeah, there's no 4Kids dub voice for Tanner or whatever, you know.
No. 4Kids dub Tanner is just Gaijin Goomba.
Oh, God.
We do have a couple things that are still going for incentives here. Not incentives, but polls, rather. One of them is we do have the Sonic Mania Plus character choice, so whichever character is going to be played as for that, alongside Knuckles in the And Knuckles mode. And currently Tails is winning, so if you want that to change, you can absolutely vote with your money for that. And the other thing is the character choices for Sonic Heroes, which is going to be run tomorrow, it looks like. Of course, our schedule is tentative to change. Things change daily, so keep an eye on our social media for updates. But right now, we do have Team Sonic in the lead by quite a lot, but we're running the top two. So then the next one looks to be Team Chaotix, but that can definitely change if you want Edgy the Hedgy to be the one instead. You can give money to that if you prefer.
Yeah, I do want to say the schedule's probably going to be a little bit fucky. Like, Tom's not feeling too good right now, so there's a chance we may move Advance 3 either before or after Heroes tomorrow. We'll play it by ear, but like we say, like Tanner said, if you keep an eye on the H Marathon's Twitter, then we'll announce what we're doing, what we're going live with each day, so there's no need to worry about losing track of things. But yes, I do want to say a bit of housekeeping for how this run's working. Right now I'm playing from a fresh file because ideally I'd like to include the cutscenes because they do have a little bit of story. But what we've agreed upon is because the bosses in this game can give me a little bit of grief, we have a clause where if this run goes tits up one way or another, I'm going to switch over to Cream, because she can break through the bosses like they're nothing.
Cream is hilarious in this game. It's so good.
Yeah, I mentioned this a little bit on stream earlier, but the thing with Cream is that she has quite consistently been the overpowered character, because she's overpowered in Advance 2, she's sort of overpowered in Advance 3 if you have her as like your partner character, and she's also incredibly overpowered in Sonic Chronicles as well, because she's the mage, like the healer, sorry, not the mage, and she can just completely restore your power points each turn if you have the right Chow equipped. So you basically get to use all the strong attacks every turn with no debuffs or anything to them.
One unique thing about this game is all the bosses are running bosses like this, where you are running and, dealing with Eggman, who is also running away and doing stuff, which actually makes them pretty difficult.
Yeah, what I will say, and you'll notice this as we get into later bosses, throughout most of them, it's not so much the boss itself that will hurt you, or the boss will hurt you, but what's most likely to actively screw you over is the ramps, the inclines on the floor, because they make it so much harder to line up your jumps as you would want them to be. Wow, you're the famous Mr. Sonic?
Weren't you there when I got out of Casinopolis? Don't worry.
No, that was in the Dreamcast timeline. She only showed up in DX. Yep, so just the general conceit of the story here, it's really not much, and if you play this from a save file you've downloaded, I wouldn't blame you at all, you won't really miss much. But basically, it's Cream wanting to save her mum. And here we have Hot Crater. This is one of the most awesome looking fire levels in all of Sonic in my eyes. It's just got such a cool energy to it. The music, like, while it is still GBA music, it at least carries the energy that I would want from a fast-paced fire level. I just really like this a lot, because it kind of combines the tropes of it's a base level and also a fire level. So, you know, it's a little bit distinct from your, like, say, your Red Mountains and whatnot.
I just like how you get, like, as you go deeper, the background changes, and it really feels like you were going into a crater the whole time.
Yeah, it does. It's, like, the background artwork and just the sprite artwork in general in this game is fantastic. I feel like it's a lot more vibrant, a lot more saturated than the first game was. And while I would feel that goes a bit far in some Sonic games, like Heroes is the biggest offender for that in my eyes, I feel like this game pops just well enough for it to, like, it feels like a really bright, vibrant, colourful Sonic world, and I like that a lot about this game.
Yeah, Shade Yuki is very surprised in the chat about our air tricks, which is the thing that this game kind of sets it apart the most from Sonic Advance 1, I'd say. When you're in the air and not in a ball form, it needs to be them jumping kind of normally like off a spring or something. If you press the, it's R, I think, and a direction.
Yeah, R and either up or right. So you either do what I did just there, where it throws you up a bit, or you, for some jumps, it helps to get a little bit more distance. So that's where you want to do it holding right.
I think there's a down one as well.
If there is, I don't think I've tried that.
I think it gives you the bounce bracelet attack from...
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it gives you the bounce bracelet. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember that now. And the other thing this game has that I'm probably not going to use at all is it has a homing attack. You won't need it.
I don't remember that.
No, you won't need it because it's just like, what are you going to home in on? Like, it's a 2D Sonic game, and it's a 2D Sonic game that isn't Sonic 4. So, yeah, Tanner, why don't you remind everyone about our Sonic Origins raffle?
Yes, so if you are interested in playing some of those classic games, checking out the many mods on Sonic Origins of PC that are already out there, there's a lot already, you can absolutely pledge $5 at least, and for every $5 it's an extra raffle, and you get entered in for Sonic Origins. Just make sure you tell us, hey, I want to be entered into the raffle, and we will add you to our growing spreadsheet. It's a lot cheaper to get it for $5 than full price, because in Canada that game is $60.
Oh wow. Like, I can't remember how much it is over here. I think it's £32 for the like standard version. I think 36 for the one with like the extra shit.
Yeah, with tax and everything for the deluxe, it's about 60.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, that sounds bad, but at the same time, like, our minimum wage is $15, so it's not super bad. It's like when I went to Mexico and they also use the $ for stuff, and I bought a copy of Mega Man Classic Collection, like the PS2 one, for what was written on there, $900, but it was actually like 60, just because pesos uses the exact same icon as dollars.
Oh Christ. Yeah, no, over here we have a stronger currency, but sometimes they don't like to pass on that saving, because like for games like Sonic games tend to usually be a bit cheaper, but game prices have been creeping up bit by bit by bit, and now I think brand new PS5 games, if you buy those, they tend to go for about £60 to £70, which is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, so twice now you've shown off how, like, yeah, the little bumps in the road, because they change your trajectory, they can absolutely mess you up.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful and not go in for a shot unless I have rings, but sometimes jumping for the rings in the air causes me to get hit again immediately. Okay, I have one.
People in chat were saying you can air dash with double tapping also, just like in Advance 1, and that helps with getting a bit of speed in these bosses.
Probably not going to do that much, just because I kind of like the consistency of just a standard run in the bosses, because it like helps you aim a little bit.
Absolutely, it just feels easier to sort of deal with.
Did Sonic moonwalk there for a second? I'm not entirely sure.
freaking inspired level theme.
You say that, and I like the idea of having a music level. Problem is that the music itself, like even putting aside the sound font issue, it seems a little bit underwhelming for a music level.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely could be done better, but I love this idea and really would want this to be a theme that they retry.
Yeah, because like for me, my point of reference for music levels is Planet Sonata, and this is not Planet Sonata. So, you know.
See, I was going to say, I know Rayman has this as a theme, and I know a lot of people like that one.
Like, I haven't played many Rayman games, but one thing that I remember is in Legends, when they have, like, the remixes of pop songs that the levels adapt to, which I thought was really cool back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just casually stroll off the edge there. By inspired, you mean inspired by Rise Star? Basically, that's what I was getting at, yeah. Have you ever played that, Tanner?
I played it a bit. I think my first exposure was the HFC playthrough of it, and just looking at it going like, yo, this is kind of cool looking. Never got super far, but from what I've seen of it, I'm like, yeah, this is a jammin' game.
It has a lot of soul. It is like peak soul Sega for me, and I will say one thing that I don't think many people think to check out is there is actually a Game Gear version of Rise Star as well, which is not as solid as the Mega Drive one. But if you like the Mega Drive one, I would absolutely recommend checking it out, because it is fun in its own right, and it actually has some extra levels that didn't show up in the Mega Drive one, especially if you play the Japanese version. That has a whole extra act, which didn't make it over to the English one, which is a little bit strange. But, you know, it's just a fun little game to play, and that is something that I think you were talking about this a little while ago on stream yourself, Tanner, but one of the arts of games that I kind of miss is the idea of having like a main version of a game and also having either a handheld or a like lower powered machine equivalent for it.
I think Rise Star 2 is one of those games that you could play through in English and then in Japanese, and there's enough differences that it's like worth a second playthrough.
Yeah, I did that on my channel a little while ago actually. I did a run of the Japanese version of the Mega Drive one, but that they changed some of the boss designs. Like, one that I remember is the cat boss.
That one, that's the one that you jump to, right? Yeah.
No, the cat one is the one that you throw the food in his mouth and burn him.
No, when I mean jump to, I'm like, that's the one that first comes to mind, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you think of the changes, it's because it's so blatant.
It's so different. I think he might have actually shown up like that in the credits of the English one as well, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But the credits, not the main credits, but like the lead into the credits, is one of my favourite video game songs of all time, Star Humming.
Nice.
If I recall correctly, there's a decompilation of Advance 2 in progress. I think I have heard about that actually, yeah. So even if it's a fan thing, if we can get a like widescreen port of Advance 2 running on PC, that would be really cool.
That's the big thing about it. All those decomps are pretty much just letting them run natively on your PC, and because of that, it's just like, yeah, easy to stretch it to widescreen. Don't got to worry about any GBA limitations.
Yeah, like I think there was a leak of the, well, not a leak, but like a proper decompilation shown up to exist for a handful of early Pokemon games a little while ago too, and people are working on native ports for I think Gen 1. Which is kind of interesting. Admittedly, being a Game Boy game that's a top-down game, it doesn't really need it because you can emulate that just fine. But still, you know, like it's cool that people are able to dig through that.
My favorite is the decomp of Mario 64 that people are then up-resing to look like the render artwork for Mario 64.
Oh yeah, and I like how people managed to fix the frame rate issue in Mario 64 by moving one bracket.
Yep.
That was beautiful. Do I like Dynamite Heady? I've never played it. I watched Volk play it a little while ago and it looks cool, but a bit too hard for me because I'm kind of a pussy. But yeah, there's like a certain look and feel to old Mega Drive games that kind of don't really exist elsewhere, even though like the SNES in a lot of cases was technically superior. Like I know the sound chip in general was more advanced and things like that. You know, there's just a certain Sega energy on the Mega Drive that is very hard to replicate.
I think the Genesis has higher highs and lower lows than the Super Nintendo. Like, it just feels like a good Genesis game is incredible, but a bad Genesis game is really bad.
I think it's also one of the situations where games that were designed specifically for the Mega Drive turn out fantastic, whereas games that had a version on the SNES and a version on the Mega Drive, it'd usually be the SNES one that's the better version, at least from as far as I recall. And yeah, I know I'm taking a lot of hits here, but this is one of those bosses that I just sort of tank until I beat him.
Yeah.
Like, there is a strategy of like taking out the shot, like the projectiles first, but this worked. Peaks and valleys, highs and lows. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that, in fairness, that is the case for a lot of system libraries, because, you know, when we look at older systems fondly, it's usually the games in particular that we enjoyed that we remember, but every system has shovelware if you dig through. Like, that is one thing that is quite interesting to do. A little while ago, I legitimately purchased some zip files of every game that existed on a handful of different systems, and every now and then I like to just open up the emulator and just pick a game at random, and I have found some weird fucking shits. Like, the ports that no one knew existed because, like, no one has a reason to go back to them. Like, did you know there's a Game Boy Advance version of Crazy Taxi?
Yes, it's wild.
It is fucking just off. Like, you know, it's like they didn't remake a game like as a 2D version or anything. It is trying so hard to adapt the arcade and Dreamcast version onto a 2D system. Whether it works or not is up to you to figure out, but holy shit, the fact that that exists in the first place is amazing. And also I did dig into the world of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance rhythm games a little while ago, which is whack. If you remember last year during the Adaptathon, I played one of them. I played the American Idol game on the GBA, which is as terrible as you would expect. And there's also stuff like a Game Boy Color version of like the Dance Dance Revolution games, including one that has the Eurobeat Disney songs but adapted to run on the Game Boy Color, to the point where they're almost unrecognisable until just the one little riff kicks in that you know.
That's amazing. That's so good. I love that. I love going through and just looking up games I've never heard of. It's a big favorite pastime of mine. That's, yeah, if you too want to legally purchase every single game of a console, archive.org.
Archive.org, or I'm just saying, everyone heard about Emu Paradise getting shut down. It's not actually gone. The files are still there on their servers. You can get them if you're smart. Wink wink nudge nudge, I can't say any more than that.
I mean, it's not like anyone would be getting money for us, you know, buying legally a copy of American Idol for the GBA.
Yeah, that is the sort of thing where I fully understand why people would prefer to have a legitimate copy of their favourite games, and that entirely makes sense to me, especially when it's like a game with a physical release. You can show it off. I get that. What I don't get are the very staunch anti-emulation arguments from people who take a moral high ground over pirating like a 20-year-old game. Because it's like, nobody's benefiting from that either way. All that happens is you're a few quid out of pocket, or a few hundred quid out of pocket, depending on the game.
So we didn't explain the special coins.
Yeah, I tried to block those out of my memory, but basically the way you get to the special stages is you collect, I believe, 7 in the stage. If you get all 7, then when Sonic gets to the end, he'll keep running and he'll run on to a special stage. The special stages themselves are probably the most tolerable of the advanced special stages, but they're not worth the energy to get to. Like, nowadays, talking about emulation, just download a save file from somewhere. Like, if you want to see the true final ending, just download a save file and play the boss for yourself. But the way the special stages work is that it's like a grid of rings, and you have to build up a chain of rings just to kind of keep up a multiplayer, and Zero from Sonic Adventure follows you around while you're doing it and tries to hurt you.
Yeah, bit of a strange cameo. Like, it's one of, I think, 2 pretty much times he's used in a Sonic game, and that's about it.
Yeah. And, like, I don't remember, because, like, Amy beat him at the end of Adventure, so I guess he would have had to have been rebuilt specifically for that purpose.
I mean, look at literally what happens with Gamma between Adventure 1 and 2, right? Where it's like Gamma in Adventure 1 is a single one, then you'll play Adventure 2, and there's just a bunch of mass-produced versions of him in Eggman's bases.
I mean, look at Shadow, where Eggman's got like 500 of them ready to go. Alright, this is one of the bosses that can give me shit.
This is probably the first one that you go, oh man, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, because again, like, the pattern itself looks simple enough to understand, and you've got the sound cue, for when the bomb drops. But those inclines and declines, Jesus fucking Christ, they will fire you into the thing you're trying to avoid.
I will say, I think you're 100% safe if you're on the very edge of the screen, so if you need rings, you can just stay there and farm them.
Yeah.
At the very far side.
But, you know, I kind of don't want to be playing this for the next 10 hours.
Yeah, of course.
It is one of those things that you get into a habit of either being too reckless or too safe, and you do need to both maintain your rings and get hits in. So it's a balancing act, arguably more so than the bosses in the classic games, which usually go by in a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Sound cues maybe aren't quite as helpful for me right now, given I have the audio turned down a little bit for the sake of the stream, but I'll try and get a hit in on him sooner or later. I swear, guys.
It also sometimes, depending on how the music is going or if there's ring sound effects, sometimes it will just be cut out because too many audio channels.
Yeah. Yep, just about got him. Shouldn't be too many more hits now.
You really have to wonder why he even puts the little dish back up. I mean, if he keeps it like that, he wins.
It's Eggman. This is what he does. Okay, onto the pink mode. Where he basically just speeds up his attacks.
Double time, baby.
Which makes them a little bit more predictable to line up, in all honesty.
Yeah, because it's an easier beat to get accustomed to.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice.
And I think that last hit can twat you, if I recall correctly. I seem to remember as a child getting fucked over by that at one point. Yeah, the boss of Sky Canyon coming up is a complete bitch. But here we have a level that was a bit of a filter for a lot of people, because this is where this game likes to get really dimsy.
Yeah, this is, like, immediately, that's a bottomless pit right there, and spikes that if you jump into, you fall down and die in the first couple seconds.
It's just letting you know what you're up against.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong way.
I do like these little windmills here that you
Yeah.
kind of spin around and it sends you pretty much, 90 degrees from where you were. I like that.
And I like the general look of this level as well. Like, it's got a little bit Windy Valley, a little bit Skyrail.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, here's how the grind rails work there. As you see, it's got a little bit of a bigger section that you can jump on at the start, which comes in really handy compared to Advanced 1.
Yeah, where it's literally the width of Sonic.
Yeah, I see people in chat talking about the way that this game and like the Advanced series in general, the sprites from this were the basis for so many fan projects, like the fan comics people used to make, the sprite music videos that show up, things like that.
Oh yeah.
And like, I can't blame them because, like I said earlier, these sprites are absolutely gorgeous.
They're so good. I think like these gave us the base, but I think the majority of like, especially the characters that people really like Shadow, those come from like Sonic Battle, where, you know, because you don't have Shadow in this, but Sonic Battle has him and even has a variant of Gamma. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
I never have played Battle. It's one of those games that I looked at once and thought, this looks a bit dull, and then never looked past.
I have a weird history with it because for some reason, all of my friends had it as a kid, but specifically, they all had Japanese copies of it. And the Japanese copy, you can switch over to English because it was simultaneously released around the world, so just all the languages are on all versions. But I just remember they all had it. I'm like, why do you all have it? And they all gave the same answer of, oh, my uncle gave it to me. And it was like 3 different kids, 3 different uncles, 3 different Japanese Sonic Battle copies. I have no idea why.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, sometimes if you were trying to get games off eBay or something, sometimes you would just have like an import copy, because like they would import loads of them to sell it as the new game that's not out yet, and then people wouldn't buy it because they don't speak the language, so they just have excess stock. But yeah, that was also the era of so many fucking bootleg GBA cartridges being around.
Oh yeah, they had those too, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're looking around on eBay. Like, I think my first copy of Fire Red was like a bootleg cartridge that had the Japanese ROM dumped on it. And I remember it was especially bad if you ever went away abroad and you would go to the markets and that. Some of these people would just have like hundreds of fucking bootleg cartridges, and given that it's a fucking proprietary cartridge that they have to remake entirely, it kind of amazes me that they were able to reproduce them in such high volumes.
I think for me, the first bootleg I got was I wanted a copy of Final Fantasy V on the GBA, and the Final Fantasies are really bad for bootlegs. They're up there with Pokemon on the GBA. And the first one I got, it was like, yeah, you can immediately tell. It's like, why does this plastic feel like bad chocolate?
Yeah.
And then you're playing it and you save the game and it crashes, and then you try to boot it and it doesn't. And literally, because it was literally as soon as I got it from eBay, I just said doesn't work, and the seller was like, okay, money back, keep the cartridge. Like, he probably goes through so many that he's just like, okay, I believe you.
Yeah, I think what kind of happens is that they bank on turning over hundreds and hundreds of these bootlegs, and they've made their money from the people who just can't be able to send it back. So if one or two people every now and then just email them and like, yeah, hey, this doesn't work, you know, they're still like profiting at the end of the day, which is kind of shitty. But you know, you do have to be careful about what you're putting your money down when you're buying stuff on eBay.
That's why I use PayPal too, because PayPal, you can just dispute it. It's so nice.
Like, I had one a little while ago, guy tried to scam me that I thankfully saw through. Of what he was doing is he would say, like, you'd buy a thing from him, like a game or a film or whatever, and he'd send like some cheap DVD that he'd got from somewhere, like probably for £1 or whatever, somewhere off a market or whatever, and then when you like, he would preemptively say to you, oops, sorry, I sent the wrong thing, I'll send the right one in a few days, and then he doesn't. And that seemed to be his scam, because there were a few like reviews on there that just mentioned, hey, he said that he sent a cheap email, like a cheap DVD by mistake, and I emailed him and the new one never showed up. And it just makes me think of how many people fall for this and just don't bother disputing it because, like, it's easier for them to just get a new one.
Yeah, fair number. We must address the fact that Knuckles do be driving right now.
He do be, he be driving Eggman's mech, and also when that hand thing smacks the screen, that is a one-hit kill.
Yeah, because you're getting crushed, technically.
I kind of think it's a bullshit thing for it to do, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on, Knuckles, get back round. And generally the key to this fight is don't try to get cocky. Don't try to get one more hit in, because something will fuck you over if you do.
Yeah, 1, take out the gun. 2, literally just don't wait for it to be at this angle here where you're safe.
Yeah, but also be conscious of the inclines as well, because that will fuck over how fast you get up to it. I think everyone hates this boss.
Once you learn kind of what to do with it and know to avoid the hand insta-kill, I think there's worse in even this game, but
it's manageable. Just gets a little bit annoying sometimes, you know. Yeah, this is a Knuckles thing. Knuckles gets tricked a lot. No, a bit late.
Something, do you take my Emmer dudes?
Christ. See, like that there, I probably could have got him, but it had been just a bit long since he'd done the smack. Why did he fall for it this time? Because he's gullible. That's pretty much Knuckles' character when they write him well. And when they don't write him well, they just make him stupid.
Eggman sent him a letter that says, "Ooh, I hate grapes," signed Sonic the Hedgehog. That's it, Sonic. Today we settle this.
It is a game of timing, and I realise I am being very careful here, but at the same time I'd rather just not die. Come on, do your swingy thing. There we go. Oh god, that counted. Cool.
Yeah, you got the Insta Shield.
Yeah, the Insta Shield from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and it can come in handy sometimes. Knuckles wouldn't know how to operate that thing. This era Knuckles probably would if you showed him what to do.
I feel like Eggman made it so there's a big button that just says "Kill Sonic" that when he presses makes the hand go out, and he's just mashing it.
Yeah, like, I like to imagine that there's just one big button that he can press with his boxing gloves on, because like trying to work a computer with that wouldn't work too well. That expression's great.
Big shenanigans music.
Oh yeah. Now you can play as Knuckles. I'm not going to be doing that this run. Whenever I play this, I mostly do just play as Sonic, just because I feel like his control lends itself best to the levels.
Yeah, the only two characters I really play as in these is Sonic or Cream.
Yeah.
Because Cream is holy shit.
Yeah, now there are a lot of flashing lights in this level. It should be okay for people on stream because the window's smaller than it is for me. But yeah, just I would advise against full screening the video. Like, this is one thing that maybe doesn't translate over too well when you're emulating, because this wouldn't really be a problem for anyone on a Game Boy Advance screen. But when you have a backlit monitor, it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, especially because the GBA would have ghosting, so it would, instead of flashing, it would look transparent. That's kind of the whole way that they accomplish transparency on the old Game Boy, is they just flash it, and because it ghosts, it literally just is there for a brief second and then gone, making it look like it's see-through.
Yeah, which is really unpleasant to look at sometimes, but I know there was one particular model of the SP that was really bad for that, because I forget exactly what it was. I think it was the one with a front light rather than a backlight. And because of how the screen was, it meant the screen wouldn't go above 50 Hz.
Ooh.
And why they considered that a valid trade-off is so far beyond me, I do not know.
I've seen more than a couple examples where ghosting in GBA games leads to some unique effects. It's like one of the most interesting things I've ever seen a video game do, where using its kind of limitations as a thing, is in one of the Mega Man games, there is, on one of the stages, they put in essentially white pixels as the stars, and because you're going to be playing it on an old CRT, there is no white pixel for it, because the CRT is made of the 3 colors. So as you run as Mega Man, it cycles through all of the CRT's sort of pixels there, and so you get like twinkling star effects that can only be seen on a CRT.
Was that 5 by any chance?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember Starman Stage in that. Mega Man 5 is okay, but it's probably the least interesting of the NES games in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I like 6 quite a bit more than a lot of people do, because I just feel like the level concepts are really cool.
Yeah, the world battle sort of theme.
Yeah, that and just the level themes in general were cool. I will say I do much prefer the NES games and the NES likes, 9 and 10, over like 7 and 8, because I just feel like Mega Man's one of those series that just what works, and anything else overcomplicates it. Like 8's a fine enough game in its own right, 7 is just a bit, it's Mega Man 7.
All these transistors in the background just giving me big Mega Man Battle Network energy.
A little bit, yeah. If this level breaks, you don't have to wait a whole fucking month to get it fixed too, which is nice. I'm still salty.
Sorry, what is this a reference to?
The whole PC debacle we dealt with. This might be my first death so far.
Yes. Oh yeah, and that pit there, I recognize it because it's the only level that has that unique sort of background with the hexagon pattern. So when I saw it, I'm like, yep, that's death.
I am genuinely impressed that I've made it to this level before dying, though. This might be my best run ever so far. Like, granted, I will say, when we get to the final boss, I am not good at it, so what I'm probably going to do is I'll mute my mic and let you handle commentary while I concentrate on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because, we need to do it without fucking up too much. I don't think I've been this route before. Anyone watch SGDQ this year? I haven't kept up with it, nah, sorry.
I've been watching it a little bit. I watched the run of Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, and that was pretty funny.
Nope. Yeah, no, I haven't watched much of the GDQ stuff in a long time. It's just the general culture there where everything feels a lot more sanitized than it used to be. It kind of took me out of it a bit, I will say.
Yeah, no, I get that. I will say it's real nice background noise.
Yeah, that's fair.
One thing that did bother me, though, is when they went to online, there's some people who you can very clearly tell do not have good microphones at home, and that kills it for me. I can't handle bad sound quality.
Yeah, I feel like I know a lot of these people are just doing this independently, so like, audiovisual equipment is expensive and it takes a long time to get a good setup going. But yeah, the dip is noticeable. Although, like, I can't really talk much because, like, for years I was using the worst fucking setup imaginable. So, there's always everyone's gonna have teething problems until they find the setup that works.
I feel like we've gone through 3 different routes every time so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I stayed on the platform, cool. Just gonna play it safe until I beat the level now. Yeah, given the other games getting ported, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Legends collection at some point for Mega Man.
They did re-up the copyrights on all of them, so I feel like it is a case of it's coming. Looking at why Battle Network took so long, I talked about it earlier, but it's because the games are painfully made. They are not made in a way that is easy to recreate important stuff. So as such, it's they're literally just pasting a new localization over it. So that's how they're kind of handling it. So they literally had to go over every line of dialogue in the game and paste over it with new dialogue.
Will we still jack into that guy's squirrel? It's stuff like that's probably why it's being retranslated.
Well, see, the problem is, you know, normally the nomenclatures you're supposed to say jack out, but there is one prog in the game who literally says, everyone jack off right now, which is, they can't have that.
Yeah, that feels like a Freudian slip more than anything.
Oh, it's 100% is, because it's, again, you're supposed to say jack out, but, you know, because I think they were meant to go with log out or, you know, log off. Right, but no, they got them mixed up.
For one reason or another, that one just sort of came through how it did. Okay, let's try and keep this momentum up. Nice.
Nice, there we go. The egg unfortunate shape has been defeated.
I don't know, there's that 1-3 boss where it literally looks like a dick and balls.
That's true, that's very true. Jet Kronos asks, Battle Network will be new for me. Any tips? Skip one. Skip one. If you want to get started, skip one. I'm gonna be real. Go back to one later. Start with 2.
Okay.
It is like classic Mega Man, in which the first one is highly unpolished, and then later on they get much better. So, it'll turn people off. It's like imagining if Kingdom Hearts started with Chain of Memories. Right? Like, it's like, oof.
I will say Mega Man 1 on the NES. I know exactly what you mean. It does have rough edges, but I do still quite like that game.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing where it's like, it's not terrible, but just it's not indicative of what everything does later on.
Yeah, I will say, like, I haven't ventured into the Battle Network games myself, but like I do constantly hear good things. So it's one of the things that I intend to get to eventually, but that is on the ever-growing eventually list. So no, it's one thing you notice when you play video games for a living is that you have a lot less time to play video games.
Yeah.
And I realise that is peak first world problem, but still. Okay, I see what I need to do. Okay, maybe that's not where I need to go. Cool.
I think you're supposed to spring up and then go to the right.
Maybe, yeah. Let's try that. Yeah, you're right. I can do progress, guys. Would like a bit of a better start on that grind rail, but we'll take it. Yeah, I saw someone mention Battle Network 5 has a DS version. Is that any major difference, or is it just a port?
It's not. It's literally just both versions on one cartridge.
Oh, okay.
The only big difference is there's like one new feature where you can swap characters mid-battle, but it's kind of just like it feels hacked in more than anything, so it's not a huge deal that it's not in the collection.
Yeah, okay, so like, what is the main differences between, like, I think it's 5 and 6 that have 2 different versions, isn't it?
3, 4, 5, and 6 have 2 different versions.
Okay.
So 3 is weird because they release an updated version in Japan, and they released both of them in the West as, like, the 2 versions, so it's literally a case of why would you ever play the lesser version? Because it's literally like releasing, you know, the main game or the main game plus DLC. So that's a bit of a weird one. Once you get to 4, now it's actually like full-on Pokemon, just like big changes in the story and the characters and stuff. Different enemies, different forms. Same with then 5 and 6 there. They have different stories, different forms, but they're close enough that you get pretty much everything anyways. I think, like, it doesn't do anything special, but I think this might be my favorite of, like, the near space levels. It doesn't do anything, but it's just, like, it's a super solid one.
I feel like in most games I would look at this a lot more favourably, but honestly the general level, like, aesthetic and that, it feels a bit underwhelming compared to the level we just had.
Yeah, it feels like the order should be switched, honestly.
Yeah, or at least, like, maybe add some more of the cool light effects going on here, just so it sort of matches. It did it again. Tanner's loud compared to me? No one said that before, and
Tanner's always loud, though. I take offense to that.
Huh.
Don't up-arrow his comment.
Gotta get them updates, guys. God, I felt pain going through my entire body even just making a joke about that.
I go out of my way to say, like, thanks for the Reddit gold, kind stranger, when someone gives it to me, just to make people have visceral reactions.
Tanner, no. Please. Me and Reddit do not get along. There's so much about the culture on Reddit that I know a lot of people refer to things online as cringe, and it's usually a bit of a meme, a bit of a joke, but no, a lot of the humour I see from Reddit adjacent people is genuine painful. Shut the fuck up, Tom. Play more of a 9-gag guy. Hi, funny. Yeah, there's a lot of sites like that. I do love it whenever one of the charts comes out that's like the order of different places where you see things, and it's like it's been through 20 different sites before it gets to 9gag and iFunny.
See, that's dimps. Right, literally shoot you right into a spike that you would not know is there.
Okay, in fairness, the first time it happened was dimps. The second time it happened was me not learning my lesson. I kinda gotta take accountability when I fuck up too, you know?
It is funny that we're at, like, this end base, and it's like, what do we have to fight? Buzz bombers still.
Yep, buzz bombers, rats. It's basically what the other things are. I made it work.
That worked.
No, I didn't.
Timing those is actually quite difficult.
Yeah. Try this again. Maybe I just go down. There's rings going down from that other rail, so maybe there's something here. Nope, there's death.
Nope. I think what you can do is, if you get back to that section, you can hit the spring up to the spinny doos.
Right, yeah. I'll have a proper look when I get there.
Unless we go a whole different route, which is entirely possible.
Mm. Can someone ban Axel, please? I'll let you read that one out.
Did you watch the news video I sent you? No, but I read it.
Okay, I think I'm getting back to where I was.
Yes, then just hit the spring up to the spinneroo.
Oh yeah, just use that and try not to die this time. I'm glad the spikes don't entirely touch the edge, so you can just sort of hang on the edge like I did just then.
Mm-hmm. The weirdest item in these games is the mystery ring box, where it's like you either get like 1, 5, 20, or like 60 of them.
Okay, that ending was a little bit smoother than it could have been. There we go. A lot of stuff just happened. I'm not sure about any of it. That's what I gotta do.
Fall right on top of him.
Can get extra hits in like that, but it's a little bit risky. There we go.
That works.
By bitch indeed. He can cause you a lot of grief if you're not familiar with his pattern. Actually, yeah, if we're doing Advanced 3, we could both hop in, and that way we're sort of sharing the load a little bit, if that's okay with you, Tanner.
Sure. Yeah. This level is so funny with Cream. It's so funny.
It's kind of a joke.
So for those of you who don't know, with Cream, her B button, which is normally an attack, sends out cheese, and cheese will go to the nearest target. This includes bosses, and you can literally just stay at the edge of the screen, and just continually send them out.
That's why my backup plan was to switch to Cream if anything went bollocks, because, you know. So, with how these bosses are, I just want to draw attention to how much fucking work it took to get the no-hit rundown for the LP back in the day, because Jesus Christ, trying to time these jumps without just tanking every hit like I'm doing here, it takes some doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in fairness, Tom, you did it the old way, so that would have been even more time consuming. Nowadays we have through recording emulators, which take a lot of the work away.
The nice thing is at least these guys have much less HP. Yeah, one hit to destroy the little thing there even.
I mean, it is only fair considering they're making us do all of them in a row. Okay, now I'm just being stupid. Let's try and get a hit in or two. There we go.
Of course it was the last hit, how it always is.
Because it feels like what they've done is they've cut out like the pinch moment for each fight. Which just takes a few hits off. That's time for this fucker, round 2.
Tom says, don't be afraid to save state once we beat one of them.
I'll need to save state for the final boss.
Oh yeah.
But as a precaution, I am going to put a state down now.
Hey, no worries.
Just because I know as soon as I mention that, it's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
Just to feel that little safety blanket, right?
Tom, you have done multiple runs that are over 5 hours long. Don't fucking start downplaying that now. And now it's this fucker back for round 2.
1-800, are you slapping?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Tom says the slap is so funny, and it just reminds me of that one, like, CBS drama of the kid who gets slapped at a family reunion. So funny.
This laser, you got to take it out first, but getting to it is the trouble. I think it... Oh no, it brings me back here, that's fine.
Oh, thank God.
Crisis averted.
That'd be so mean if you got killed by the hand, and it would be like, yeah, by the way, back to start.
Yeah.
So wait, was there a American, Australian, and British version of the slap? That's crazy.
I'm not sure about the exact thing you're talking about, but we did have a soft drink ad that caused a lot of kids going around smacking each other around the head. That, like, it was... I think the catchline was something about being tangoed, and it was just people acting irresponsibly, and naturally kids kind of copy that.
Alright, let me explain what it is. It's literally like there's a whole family gathering. Yeah, this was a drama series.
Oh, okay.
There's a big family gathering, and there's this one kid who's like just being kind of a little shithead to the rest of the other kids, and then this uncle goes up and says, "You stop that," and the kid doesn't, so he slaps the kid.
Oh,
and the whole family's there, and they're all shocked at this. That event becomes like an 8-episode mini-series about how the family comes back from the slap incident.
Jesus.
It's so melodramatic, and the slap doesn't even look like that bad. Like, it looks like whatever, it's just a little thing, but it's like families shaking. It's so funny. Oh god, that's right, the slap is also a Sonic thing.
Feels a lot faster than it was in the actual fight, but that may just be me at this point.
Yeah, what's with that? No, it very much is.
Maybe he's jumped ahead a few phases for this one.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay, the thing you're talking about where the guy starts slapping everyone at the party, that's a parody of the slap, where he doesn't stop with the kid, he slaps everyone. And it's funnier and better than the show that it is, you know, based on.
Yeah, I'm so lost.
That's fine. It's something that you've never seen, so it's like, yeah, you just have no connection with it.
Oh, I thought I'd get a second hit in then, but nah. claiming to get cultured on bad TV. I know basically fuck all about any TV.
That's fine. That's super fine.
Put that state in a little bit early. Let's do that again. There we go.
The Frogman!
I just did this one, so don't embarrass me now, game.
I do like how it's like, what do we put for the ceiling? I don't know, just make it the edge of space. For those of you who don't know, the slap is also a famous Sonic event where Sally slapped Sonic in the comic, and that was a big deal. The wheels hurt you because have you ever had a wheel go over your foot? Shit hurts.
Also, they have spikes on them, which is also a factor.
Hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Tanked it. Oh, right, there was the Will Smith slap, too.
Yeah, good point.
There's a lot of slap incidents, huh?
Alright, I vaguely recall a strategy for this, so let's see if I can do it consistently.
Okay.
I think this stops working on like the second to last hit or something though. So I'll do this for as long as it lets me and then actually play the game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if it works, it works. Yes, Guardsman, I did just play Sonic Advance 1 before this, so you'll be able to watch the bot of that later if you want.
Yep. Yeah, see, this is where I need to actually start playing now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just because of the timings.
Yep. Ring. Please. Alright, let's give that another shot then. Let's try getting rid of the hands before I do these spins. See if it works that way.
Yeah, sure.
Because, like, maybe not having the more aggressive laser at the top will help out a bit.
True, true, true.
I can't carry over on the left side of the screen because I do actually need to get hits in to beat him.
Yeah. He won't just die of, like, hunger.
This is exciting, I know.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't even be afraid to pop down a save state right after you kill the hands just so we don't have to worry about going through that again. Because it's just waiting.
Do you know how many hits these fuckers take?
I can look it up. I don't know anything about these bosses
Okay,
from
one gone.
detail.
Okay, that's two gone. Let's do my thing.
Let's be Zoomer.
Oh, he's changed the pattern now. God damn it. Alright.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Which means I've got to watch out for the laser and try to get hits in like this. I really hope that pop-up doesn't throw me into the laser at all.
Didn't look like it would from when you were there. Nope,
Spoke
never
too soon.
mind. Alright, so this robot in Sonic Advance 1 was called the Super Egg Robot, but in this, it's Super Egg Robo Z.
Let's try holding down.
Oh my god, the last boss was literally called the Egg Frog.
No, that doesn't work either. Cool. Okay, I've just got to wait on the ground until the laser goes and then step onto it. Okay.
We could literally make a compilation of every time in this stream, like the whole time, we've said something and then immediately it happens.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey.
So that's the main game down. So what we're going to do, I'm going to let the bad ending play out, and then we'll load in a save file that I prepared earlier, and by that I mean I downloaded earlier, because fuck, I ain't doing this myself. And then we will show off the Supersonic boss.
Yeah. God, there's got to be tons of those things littered around all different islands, huh?
Hmm. Okay, so what happens once you have all the Chaos Emeralds here is you can go back to the map screen, and at the end, if I just scroll across here, we have a new area showed up. This is True Area 53. Now, this will play a cutscene, but given that this boss can be kind of a pain in the ass to me, I'm gonna mute my mic, and Tanner, you're gonna be in charge of talking to chat while I concentrate. So we're gonna let this happen.
No worries. Also, yeah, we get to see Vanilla there, because she's rescued in Cream's ending.
Mm-hmm. She's the most interesting Sonic character of all, Vanilla the Rabbit.
Yeah, it's not True Area 51, it's True Area 53, which just raises the questions of what happened to areas, 52. As usual with the same with the previous Supersonic boss battle there, right? Because it's literally just a menu option there. Nice thing is we can do this as many times as it needs. It's tough, but you know what? Flame's got it. Dude's good at them games. Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff being thrown at you, which is like, I don't want to say there's RNG because there's probably not, but it just feels like there's so many things happening, right? You have to avoid the tail, you have to avoid the bullets, you have to hit the missiles back, and if the tail hits you, that's like you can't even break out of it. You have to basically shoulder charge the rockets right back into him, so you gotta angle it the right angle. Yeah, that was brought up there before. The background being a static image does not help because it kind of gets rid of a sense of movement on it. Yeah, knocking them up is a thing. Later on, Flame was knocking them backwards when he spun around to him, so you have a couple different directions you can kind of throw it. Yeah, I'd say in general, this robot just looks kind of incomplete without any arms or anything. Like, it just feels like he cut back on the costs. And when he sucks you in, you definitely gotta mash backwards so that he doesn't get you in there. Hey!
There we go.
Nice job, buddy.
Could have gone a lot better, but also could have gone a lot worse.
Oh yeah, no, like that was... You did better than I did with my first time beating the boss in the last game there.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to let the credits play. Probably have a couple minutes break between games once it's like offline that, just because I need to stretch my legs again and whatnot.
Oh, I need to move.
Yeah, fair play. You've been doing a lot of stuff today as well. And then Tom will be up for Advance 3. But in terms of Advance 2, I should probably wrap up what my thoughts are on this game, because it's still my favourite of the Advance games. It has a sense of speed I don't think the others really pull off. Like, admittedly, there are a few sections in this game that were a little bit funky, but it has the least dimpsisms of any of the games. What would you think, Tanner?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's areas where the dimps is the most, but at the same time, it's not throughout. There's a couple sections, mainly Sky Canyon, and then a little bit in the Battle Network zone where it's like, ooh, that's a little, ooh, don't know about that. But the rest of it, yeah. And I think it is because it is built around this idea of like Sonic having levels of speed, where it's like you're running, and then if you run fast enough, he kind of bursts forward into a after image there. And because of that, it's kind of made with the idea that you can play through the whole stage without slowing down. And that kind of helps with some of the dimps problems of, you know, running into spikes and stuff.
Yeah, it is very much one of those games that rewards you for learning the levels so you can get that 6 speed, which has admittedly been a Sonic thing since day one, and that's part of why a lot of people like the momentum from the classic games. But I feel as an alternative, this works really well.
Yeah, and the Crimson Troop brings up, also not to mention the trick system the game doesn't tell you about. That's why you read the manual, buddy.
That's why you read the manual, or why when the game isn't doing anything, your first go-to response is to just mash buttons until it works.
Oh yeah, people that are afraid to just press buttons and see what they do in a game, it's like so weird.
Yeah, I suppose it is one of those things that like maybe you might not have thought to do anything with the triggers, given, you know, like the original classic games didn't have triggers, but yeah, no, you tinker around until you get something working how you want it to. Yeah, the after image was pretty much a precursor to the boost, and it has a similar sort of influence. One live streamer asking what the head icons mean in Sonic Mania's save file.
Don't bring it up. I hate that so much. They literally got stuck on the character select screen of Sonic Mania because they didn't know what to do on it. I was so mad.
Big game journalist energy, but yes, I think that will do us for Sonic Advance. If you just hold on for a few moments while Tom sets up and while I go feed my dog because it's our dinner time now, then we'll be up with Sonic Advance 3. So we will see you shortly. Bye bye for now, guys.
Ciao.